Now, your Storm Tracker 13 forecast first. Sponsored by George Sink Injury Lawyers.
And nice calm weather across the area this evening. The rain we saw earlier today, long gone. Skies have been clearing, and Viper 13 real-time radar is dry. We will stay dry overnight tonight. It's warm and muggy in the 70s. Really won't get much cooler than this tonight, and we're really going to start heating up tomorrow. Mid-90s for our highs. I'll have a look at how long this hot weather is going to last coming up.
Right now on News 13, a vigil for Robeson County teenager Sarah Graham after the recent arrest of 3 family members in connection with her 2015 disappearance. Count on a live report. Plus, a Low-Country military base now bears the name of late U.S. Senator and South Carolina native Lindsey Graham.
Coverage you can count on at 11 starts now.
News 13 is your local election headquarters, and we're just hours away from the start of voting in the South Carolina Special Republican U.S. Senate primary. Thanks for joining us. I'm Adriana Lawrence. The winner will replace the late Senator Lindsey Graham on the November ballot. Tonight, one of the candidates, 7th District Congressman Russell Fry, held a Get Out the Vote rally in Horry County. He told us how his experience in the U.S. House would benefit him in the Senate.
I'm going to have relationships in the House that I've cultivated, but I'm also going to be in the role of as a senator. And one of the frustrations is that we're not moving legislation between the two bodies right now. There's 200 plus bills that are languishing in the Senate. Sometimes it's a good idea. They just need somebody to pick it up. So we want to be part of the solution here.
We also spoke today with 2 other candidates, former South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford and 5th District Congressman Ralph Norman. Sanford is running on a platform of fiscal responsibility. Now, I asked Norman today, if elected, what piece of legislation he'd want to get to President Trump.
Save America Act. That's front and center stage. I would get the votes by trying to get the 50. You're not going to get 60 votes. That's why you're going to have to break the filibuster. And reconciliation, we could try that. I think that's where you take 50% plus 1 with the vice president. But the fact that we can't get that passed, that to me is the most important, because if we lose faith in our election system, then we lose our republic.
Is you have a government that goes out and spends money that isn't there and then prints money that's not there, there's an effect for the purchasing power of every dollar that we have, and people are feeling that right now.
You can find those interviews right now on the WBTW Plus app. Fry, Norman, and Sanford are among 10 candidates who qualified for the special primary. That list also includes interim Senator Darlene Graham, who's serving out the remainder of her brother's term, and former Myrtle Beach Mayor Mark McBride. The polls are open tomorrow from 7 until 7, and you can count on News 13 for live team coverage, both on air and online at WBTW.com. Well, for more than 11 years, the question, what happened to Sarah Graham, was asked across Robeson County. She disappeared in 2015, sparking a years-long search. Then earlier this year, her stepmother, who's also the wife of Rowland's police chief, was charged with her murder. News 13's Jordan Titus is live in the newsroom for us tonight. And Jordan, dozens gathered in downtown Lumberton tonight to make sure Sarah's story is not forgotten.
Yeah, Adriana, Sarah Graham was just 18 years old when she vanished in February of 2015. The community came together tonight at a time when Graham's case is seeing some of its biggest developments in more than a decade. Organizers also say the mission raises awareness for other missing and murdered Indigenous people.
11 years and no Sarah Graham. And for years, no one answered the question of what happened to her.
We're justice for Sarah. They took that girl's life away from her. She couldn't have not here. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I love that girl.
The 18-year-old disappeared in February 2015 while headed to work in Pembroke. The van she was driving was found hours later, locked, empty, and abandoned in a field.
She wanted to be with her family. Sarah's missing out on a lot. She really is, like, with her siblings, her brother, her sister, even her mom and dad.
Her father is Rowland Police Chief Hubert Graham, and at the time of her disappearance, he was a deputy with the Robeson County Sheriff's Office. Despite an extensive search, his daughter was never found. Monday's gathering also called attention to other missing and murdered Indigenous people. Organizers say it happens a lot in their community.
It's important to keep them in our mind because sometimes they're just forgotten. That's why we say their name.
Sarah Graham was part of the Lumbee tribe. Years passed in her disappearance. Then, a major development. Sarah was declared legally dead, and in June, authorities arrested her stepmother, Connie Graham. A grand jury has now indicted her on charges including first-degree murder. Two of Connie's sons, Luke Locklear and Bobby McKellen, are also charged in crimes connected to Sarah's case.
To declare that, and that's why they had to wait so long. A lot of people don't understand that. I do know from cases I've worked, I've seen, I call them the war cries, I've seen the pain, and I can't even imagine.
A community that spent years asking what happened now wants to see what happens next in court.
We want the proper justice.
Connie Graham is being held without bond, and Locklear and McClellan were each given a $1 million bonds. We reached out to Sarah's father, Police Chief Hubert Graham, when the three were arrested, but he had no comment. You can find all our coverage on the story at WBTW.com. Live in the newsroom, Jordan Titus, News 13.
Jordan, thank you. Horry County Police found a man wanted for questioning in connection with a deadly shooting. Officers picked up Jamarius Brown today after the Horry County Coroner's Office says Ellis Brown was found dead in his home on Eno Drive, West Dolores, early yesterday morning. Police say the 67-year-old was found on the floor with one spent and one live bullet near his body. Count on News 13 for updates. Well, tonight we're hearing from the family of a Georgia man who lost his life after he helped save a child from a rip current in Myrtle Beach. The Horry County Coroner's Office identified the man as Derek Moore. Police say the 47-year-old went into the ocean at 10th Avenue South around 8 Friday night to help a struggling child. It happened after lifeguards were off duty. Moore's brother says before saving the girl, he also pulled the girl's uncle from the water. Moore's body was recovered Saturday near 11th Avenue South. His family says helping others was simply in his nature.
He always welcomed neighbors into his home, his son's friends. He treated like his own children. He even raised a couple of his son's best friends because their families weren't able to help them out. He was just a selfless person.
Moore's family hopes his final act of selflessness will inspire more people to be willing to help others. Well, scary moments you can see here aboard an American Airlines flight this morning after a reported bird strike. Data from FlightAware shows the plane left Myrtle Beach International Airport for Charlotte at 8 this morning, but came back and landed at MYR about a half hour later. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The airline will inspect the aircraft before it goes back into service. Well, one of the most prominent military bases in South Carolina is now named in honor of the late Senator Lindsey Graham and his military contributions. State and national leaders traveled to Joint Base Charleston for the renaming today. Emma Charles was at the ceremony.
I'm here at Joint Base Charleston, now named Joint Base Lindsey Graham, named after the late senator who served in the Air Force and was a prominent advocate of the U.S. military.
Dedicated his life to serving this state and serving the armed forces of the United States.
Today at Joint Base Charleston, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth was joined by Governor Henry McMaster, Acting Senator Darlene Graham, and Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent, recognizing the late senator and Air Force veteran for his service.
Lindsey loved the Air Force. He loved its mission. He loved wearing the uniform of his country. His interest in foreign affairs and national security started with his service in the Air Force.
Graham served in the United States Air Force for years as an attorney and later stateside as staff judge advocate. He received a Bronze Star for his service. Even after he was elected to the Senate in 2003, Graham continued his military service until he retired in 2015.
I don't know if Lindsey was ever in combat, but he was close to it, and he knew exactly what it entailed. He'd probably been around the world more than anybody else from our state lately. And clearly, he had the spirit and strength
of all true warriors.
In Washington, Graham was a prominent advocate for the U.S. military, securing hundreds of millions of dollars in funding for U.S. military operations. In just the last year, the senator secured $33 million in federal funding for Joint Base Charleston, which is home to one of the Air Force's largest fleets of C-17s and plays a major role in global operations.
Those gray tails that say Charleston, now when they land in far-flung places, will say Graham.
And that was Emma Charles reporting. Air Force criteria states that bases should be named after, quote, the most deserving individuals who bring honor to the Department of the Air Force and reflect the goodwill of the local community. Now let's get a check on the forecast with Frank.
Our rain chances are going down over the next few days, but temperatures will be going up. I'll have a look at how hot it's going to get coming up next. And we do have the partly cloudy skies across the area tonight. I'll have a look at those drier rain chances coming up as well.